So in lesson 3.5, over the next couple of days, we're going to be looking at parallel lines and perpendicular lines on a graph. And so today we're going to be looking at the slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines. You just got done in your warm-up finding slopes of lines. So now we're going to talk about how those slopes relate to parallel and perpendicular lines. So if you want to follow along, this is on page 88 in your journal. But parallel lines, their slopes are special because parallel lines, since they're going in the same direction and they're never going to intersect, they have slopes that are the same. They're equal. So our parallel lines have the same slope. They will be exactly the same. Now, perpendicular lines, they intersect at a 90-degree angle, and they will not have the same slope. Okay. You can tell in my picture here, one of the slopes in my picture is positive, and the other is negative. And their slopes, we call them opposite reciprocals. Okay, so here's an example of opposite reciprocals. Opposite means the signs are opposite, so one is negative and one is positive. And reciprocals means you flip your fraction. So 2/3, the reciprocal of 2/3 is 3/2. So here could be an example of the slopes of two perpendicular lines because they are opposite reciprocals. Another example of slopes that are opposite reciprocals are +5, or you can think of this as 5/1, and -1/5, right? One is positive, one is negative. They're opposites, and they are reciprocals of each other. So we're going to be using these things today to determine whether lines are parallel or perpendicular. We'll be looking at their slopes.